welcome to Speak to My Heart in the new year, 2026, you guys. And we are finally back. Finally, I'm super, super excited for this particular journey right here, especially in this month. Happy, happy, happy Black History Month to everyone. Everyone. You guys, we would not be here if it was not for the people who actually decided to be an architect and change realities for us so that we can continue to create, build, and break generational curses. But for today, you guys, I have my friend, Mr. Wade Simmons, all the way from Chi-Town. Well, hold up. Where you at?
I'm in Chicago right now.
Yeah. He's in Chicago, where he's originally from, finally. And with that, you guys, let's check this out. Mr. Wade is a mortician. He's an artist, filmmaker, and I say pro wrestler. He says don't say that like that, but I say pro wrestler. Once you become a wrestler, you're always one, whether it's pro or not. You guys, we have a phenomenal show for you regarding mental health, living intentionally in your purpose, and not comparing yourself to others so that you can stand in your truth and respect who you are. Wait, what's happening?
I'm like on 10 now because you was playing To Be Real. That's one of my favorite songs.
And we do not own the rights to any music. We do not own the rights. YouTube, don't cut my stuff. But hold up, I gotta do it one time.
To Be Real, right?
To be real. I just need to hear that part. To be real. You
That's
know, like you touch yourself, you real. Like
yeah, that's a powerful song. And look, I love that song. Like a lot of the old school music kind of like had a lot of more soul and joy to it, you know. I like that.
Like and Wade the old soul, you guys. You know, he been here a couple times, and when he speaks, he don't. It's like, huh? And it's like you're dived in to a space, especially when you hear the brother being like, man, the joy and inspiration from some songs, and you would think that he over here would want to be listening to some rap. No.
Yeah, look, I love uplifting people and uplifting music, you know, and I like a lot of old school music. Like one of my favorite songs is "You Don't Have to Be a Star to Be on My Show." You remember that one?
Okay.
Yeah, I love that song.
And it's a Superstar Saturday, you guys, just so we are all knowing. It's a Superstar Saturday. I'm Kiana, your host of Speak to My Heart. And this is where we just have meaningful conversations like we at the backyard or in the front yard on the porch, sharing your story, sharing mine, engaging with each other so that we can do the very thing that Wade is talking about, uplift. Hey, raise the roof. We don't do that enough. We don't encourage a sister, encourage a brother. We give this shallow sarcasm and condescending, which leads to, you know, Wade picking you up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I just unfortunately saw a video with a young lady. Her daughter was at the store and like some lady was trying to fight her and stuff. Like when I see stuff like that, it kind of grieves me a little bit because it's like, you know, we're all people, and you know, I feel like sometimes we entertain the wrong stuff. You know, we look. It's kind of sad. Like I think it's 2026 now. We can't keep letting the enemy win like that. Like we have to change the narrative. You know, and it kind of start with everybody individually. You know, and love is a powerful thing. A lot of people don't understand that. You know, it's a very powerful thing.
True that. And that's something you need to dig a little differently. People been running around here with this love, right? That's not love, that's control.
Mm-hmm.
Love is you.
Yeah.
Love is flowing. Love is to be real.
Yeah.
Love is that right there, you know? Looking at the different artists that's on my screen behind the TV right now, like you got it's that many. It's like they collaborated all these artists on one, like a flyer, and it's right here. But the thing of it is that that energy that you was feeling, music is a vibration, right? If you turn the music on and you go where the speaker's at and you don't even got to touch the speaker. You can see the speaker vibrating. That's what the music is doing to self. But we don't know how to be still. I'm going to always stick on that. You don't know how to be still. See, you're going to have to feel the music and not feel it like right here. We talking about feel it inside. Feel it in your soul. Feel it there. But you don't want to. You want to go control that person's violin or drums over there and the guitar that belongs to them. And you got your own sound, right?
Yeah.
And that's like me. I'm going to come over there and I'm going to tell Wade how to make my movie for me. When he knows exactly how he wants this to flow, only thing I want to do is make a movie of Key. And he know how it should go. He know the production of it. He's the director. I'm the writer, but he the director. He the producer, you know? But when you don't get in line, you thinking you got to do everything. And then you want to control other people and you didn't control yourself. Oh yeah, this is speak to my heart for real, for real. There is no more of I'm gonna be a little passive. I had to grow up in this time frame of my break.
Yeah.
And I had to learn how this last year, 2025. I have a new granddaughter. Her name is Elizabeth Grace. 5 means grace. And I don't know about anybody else, but the number 5, for those of us who have been knowing numbers, 5 has always been that piece of hair bothering me, but 5 has been the number of grace, right? And you got some grace last year. You got some grace. You got some time to heal some areas. You got some time to grow some areas. You got some time to reflect. Most importantly, you had time to be responsible, to be accountable, and respect. Those are my 3 words from last year for myself, right? It hurt me to not do a show. It really did. It hurt me not to ask nobody. It hurt me not to put it out there. Like, it hurt me. But at the end of the day, it bettered me. What areas of yourself have you just really noticed that has, I'm so much better? I know that's not the song, but I just took it and made something for myself. That's how you heal. That's how you heal. I had to take certain things and I had to make them real personal. I'm so much better. Oh, I feel good. I feel good. Baby, I feel good all over. Whoo! Y'all better quit playing with some of these artists out here. Okay, wait. I told you this was coming back and I'm gonna sing it. I'm gonna do whatever. But what most importantly I'm gonna do is be authentic. I'm gonna be authentic. What helped you in your growing last couple of months, it could have been yesterday, that allowed you to actually see, oh, I'm better. You know, like, I ain't there no more mentally. I ain't eating my, oh, I'm better.
Actually, I gotta go back to 2023 when I decided to walk away from the funeral home full time. Because I know as you remember, like when you first met me, I was kind of having a problem with my voice. When I was dealing with the spasmodic dysphonia, whatever they want to call it. But when I actually left from working there full time and I kind of took some space to kind of heal and did a little bit of traveling and, you know, focusing on some other stuff, my voice got better, you know? And so one of the things that I kind of learned from like then was like, you know, you have to kind of listen to like that inner voice that God gives you. You have to kind of understand timing, placement, everything, because a lot of times when you know that it's time for you maybe to move on or it's time for you to do certain things that you've been given to do and you don't do it, sometimes it'll affect you in other areas of your life, you know. A lot of people may not understand that, but I understand that from a spiritual aspect because, like I said, when I stepped away from working full time at the funeral home, my voice got healed. and I started focusing on doing some of the other things that I've been assigned to. So just trusting that inner voice.
Let's talk on that. He said, trust in that inner voice, which is the intuition inside of you, the in
Yeah,
tuneness.
it's very
Are you
important. Like,
really in tune?
yeah, you gotta be.
Intuition. And I had to say it a little slower so that anybody that's listening, I want you to hear how I say it. Intuition. And if you really hear what the word itself is saying when you slow it down, it's saying into me. That's me. That's me saying that. In tune with me. That's my soul, which is the intuition of myself speaking to me. And as I allow myself to be in tune, tighten up mentally, tighten up emotionally, tighten up them people and places that you go to and be around. I don't care who it is. You have to tighten up. If we're going to say, oh, everybody can't go, you know why? Because everybody ain't willing to grow. Like you said, I had to sit down with myself and I had to see myself over here at the funeral home. Is this what I really want? And if it's not, then I need to do something. And when I change and do it differently, I can see, because I can hear myself speaking now clearly. Yes, I like that. I like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now you're going to sing for me, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but in all seriousness, like, you know, you're right that a lot of times I believe that we are given assignments in life, and you know, sometimes other people may not understand it. We may not always fully understand it, but I think that all of us are being given gifts to utilize in the earth, you know, and to, you know, hopefully do it in a, you know, way with humility and with service, because I think a lot of times as people, sometimes we kind of focus on the wrong things. Like, because like I was just sitting there thinking about it, like before I came on, like how a lot of people are talking about distractions nowadays, but you can't really be distracted if like put it like this. You only become distracted if you allow distractions to hinder you. But the more you start to be in tune with reality and life in this world and the tasks that you've been given, then you won't really be distracted, you know? And so I've been like just more so
because you become it's like you become the which I said one time, which was last year, I was listening to somebody and they was talking about distractions, and I said, well, why not become the distractor to the distractions? And they was like, huh? Well, if I do the diamond art, read my books, do something different, work on my show, work in my store, take time to reflect and evaluate myself and see what my temperature is, right? If I'm doing those, distractions are only going to come if I allow what you just said. And that means I've invited you into my space, and now I'm going to entertain this thought. What?
Yeah.
I'm already having fun. Look, I'm already having fun with my pen. This is my fun. You got to know what your fun is for you. What your fun is that you can laugh at that might bother the next person because they don't see you in a need situation. They know that you got stuff going on. You're probably not in a big house. You know, you're not in materialism and stuck on that. You're just like, okay, I got a place to stay. I can do this. Even if I didn't, I was at the shelter last year over the summer. Had a show. I just saw one. I was like, oh, girl, you came a long way. Look at you. You got to celebrate yourself. You got to say, fuck them and fuck that shit and celebrate you. It's like you have to take on, as a female, you have to take on, as I say, this coach mentality, divine masculine, however you want to put it. But you're going to have to take on a nut if you butt fist and look at yourself and be like, girl, if you don't get your butt up, you know how far we done came. We didn't get all this and now you just don't sit and wallow. No, get up. You got to make yourself intentionally get up and be the distraction, because all it leads to is a mental mindset where you ain't in mind power. You over here power over mind and mind under power and flipping words and making them don't even make sense.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a space where, as a man, as the melanin man, knowing that life be life and I'm in a situation, and we so stuck on stigmas and stereotype, men don't have feelings. And speak to my heart, they got feelings. They feelings matter first, so that we can all flow. Like, hey, wait, I love you, bro. If you need to cry, I got my tissue.
Uh,
We got to get like that, because
yeah.
when we as the woman become that, I'm a nurture. I'm gonna give you some tissue. I'm gonna give you a shoulder. Bro, you need some time. I'm gonna give you a little time to sit down so that you can get that out of you. I don't think people understand that mind power, because I don't even want to say mental anymore. Your mind power is the reason things is going up, down, around the world, whatever direction you're going.
That's
Because
true.
you know what I'm saying? Especially you living in Chicago. How you making it? You good? Y'all hot over there right now.
Yeah, well, look, I like a lot of times I'm always all over the place. So I'm like put it like this, like I only focus on like the things that help me to be better or help me to help people. If I can't help somebody, I ain't gonna hurt them. So I'm aware of a lot of things, but sometimes you got to tune some of it out at times. Um, Especially with the news. Like I used to tell my grandma that all the time. Like I used to come home sometimes from the funeral home. I'm like, look, I just left the funeral home. I don't want to be hearing about all that shooting, killing, and stabbing. It's your mind have a capacity for some of that stuff. It's like, okay, I see enough of that. It's like, let me focus on something else now.
Right.
I think
So
balance is key. Yeah.
he said balance. So that would go into actually learning how to communicate. We have to get out of it. And this is where mind power is so powerful, because do you really want to have that conversation with somebody like that? Do you really want to be arguing? And if you know that you don't, you got to know the person that you're about to talk to or say
Yeah,
something to.
you're right.
Because I can
I
come and
had
holler at Wayne and be like, I ain't like that. I can't go tell grandmama that. I'm finna get slapped in the mouth. I don't care if I am big. You finna get slapped in the mouth if you got a real grandmama like I do. You finna do what? I know you got to go, grandma. You kind of
you
like,
know what?
I don't know.
But you know what I learned? I learned it takes really patience to learn and understand people. Because I had an experience, I think it was like last year, where I was on a podcast, and it was different. Like we wasn't promoting, we were just people coming together and talking. And we had like quite a few wonderful people on the platform. Everybody kind of had their own difference of opinions or whatever. And I'm fine with that. But I think at one point, like I was trying to kind of better understand somebody, and I was kind of trying to ask certain questions, but I noticed like the person wasn't really answering the question. So it was like couldn't really get anywhere, because one thing about me, like I'm one of them people where I try not to assume things about people, because all of us are different. We have similarities and stuff like that, but everybody is not everybody is not the same in the way that they think or the way that they process information. And so to me, I think rather than like kind of jump down somebody's throat to criticize them, it's kind of good to find out who they are, what they think, and how did they come
Mhm.
to the place to believe the way that they think. I think that I'm really big on that, and I ain't a person that's like really here to critique or criticize anybody. I just like having a genuine like conversation with people, but sometimes not everybody sees it that way.
Right.
So it does take like patience and stuff to understand people.
And in order to flip that, be patient with yourself.
Yeah.
Self-patience is required. So everything that you want to give to somebody else, we have. Oh, be patient with other people. Am I patient with self? Say yes to you is still about you. It doesn't matter. If I'm going to do that for other people, am I doing that for myself first? And if I'm not, you don't even matter. I matter. I got to practice self.
Yeah.
I got to practice being kind to self. I got to practice listening and properly communicating in a balanced harmony. If not, I'm about to have an enraged conversation with you, just like I'm over here. Key, what's wrong with you, girl? Why are we doing this? Why are we? You know, I've been woke up since 5 because it was just, you know, I live in an apartment building. Sometimes it's, you know, downtown, it's chaoticness going on. Knowing the next person is important, but knowing yourself is valuable. There is no way around that at all, because my mind power is going to still lead to me intentionally living on purpose. Right? Whether it's I'm out there doing bang, bang, shoot 'em up, drill team go on, and or I'm out here, you know, thug life, pop, lock, and dropping, and, you know, thought boxing, and twerk, and all that, whether I'm doing that or not. And I'm not knocking any of that. You're still living intensely on purpose how you want to.
Yeah. And
see what I'm saying?
And again,
it goes across the board.
All of us are directors and producers in our own life, in a sense, because we put it like this. Because when you think about like filmmaking or like putting together a story, right? You know, the director pretty much tell the actors how to block the movement and things of that nature. And a lot of times in life, we kind of choose, like, you know, what we choose to react to and how we choose to act and things that. So like you said, like, you know, mind capacity and mind powerful. When people really understand who they are, it's a powerful thing. And so that's why I say that, like, I'm at a point in my life now where like I try to really only give space to things that kind of push me further along the way, you know, and I'm not even talking about in a career wise or material wise, but just in life, period, you know, because to me, again, everything in my life is pretty much more about a journey rather than the destination, you know.
Say that journey.
Yeah.
He gonna put me in a car so y'all can see me in the car, in the car seat with my juicy juice and my phones and my little devices or whatever, right? But I'm in the back seat and the car gonna be going. It ain't gonna be no driver, because I know God got me. Whoa, see, that's the journey. Do you know that you have yourself? Do you trust this journey to have a driver with no face, no body, no nothing? Since you saying we trust God, well, you God. God is you, and God is in you. God is in all of us. But do you trust that factor of self? Said get in the car, and you get in the car, and you're gonna have to trust source, which is God. That source. You're going to have to trust this, right? And you're going to have to trust it as a little kid trusts your butt getting in the car. And you say, get in the car, buckle up, and you start driving. The little kid trusts you. Do you trust yourself to get in the car and trust source, God, universe, to drive you to the destination? The journey is in the car. The destination is where you're going. Are you on a destination or a journey? Because living intentionally on purpose is about that journey. Because the purpose is me. Me is the purpose and the pressure. The intent is to cause. What's the intent? My intention is to enjoy this motherfucking journey on purpose. And I'm Bernie Mac, little sister. Motherfucking purpose on purpose. Enjoy this journey. Sitting over there getting mad because something happened. Okay, it's an experience. And you're going to stay mad?
Damn.
Oh, yeah, welcome to the new Speak to My Heart. You going to stay mad? How mad are you? Big mad, you little mad? Because I'm going to start looking at you like that. Because that energy, I don't want. I work my butt off to work on my energy. So it's not staying in a place down here in my lower part of my body, or over here in my arm, or over here in the side of my head, or over here in my neck, on my knee. When you can owe yourself up out of some shit by sitting over here and being still and being quiet and being honest. Hoes are even honest. Yeah, girl, I was down there with Jimmy the other night. And I went over there, girl. I got to go over there that time in a few minutes. Girl, let me get that money. What you talking about? Hoes is even honest. Yo, simple butt can't even be honest. What? Tell me I'm lying. I bet you go outside right now, go around 3-4 blocks, probably not even that far. Just saying. I bet you ask old girl off on the street, woo, woo, woo. She gonna give you direction. She gonna ask you because you the melanin man. This is what they are. You good? Do you need anything? She gonna do all that little bit right there, and she gonna offer you some yummy if you got some money. Now it's on you to do what Wayne said. It's on you to do what Wayne says. You can bring them in and entertain if you want to. Just know what it's gonna look like, right?
Yeah.
And you still are living on purpose for yourself. You still living intentionally. However you do that. I just want people to laugh at it. Like when you laugh at yourself. Wait, I was mad because somebody did something, woke me up at 5 something in the morning before the alarm go off at 5:30, right? After I just stopped being upset and used the bathroom couple times, I was like, okay, Key, come on, let's breathe. Let's not stay there. I'm being honest. So I had got my hand pan and I got myself in the back in the bed and throw the covers back on me a little better. And I act like I was in outside sitting somewhere. And I just was like, I just went into my zone, which is part of your mind power is knowing when your frequency start doing this twitchy stuff inside of you. You have to have control over that. Do you really want to stay upset all day long about whatever?
Yeah, no, I've had, like with some of the things I've been through in life, I've had some people say to me like, wait, why you still be nice to certain people and stuff like that? But I'm like, you know what? You just got to grow in every situation, and you don't have to scoop to nobody's level. Everything that happened in your life is usable. Ain't no point of like sitting down having no pity party about this and that. Just you grow from it. You learn to be a better person. Even when people do things wrong to you, you can still learn. Because I always say wisdom is a defense. I think that's one of the most powerful defense mechanisms there is.
I had to do it. And on YouTube, I do not own the rights to any of the music or anything. It was just I had to do that to be real. Hey, and what's crazy is that the artists that sings these songs, they grew up in an era where life was not easy. Living was not easy. We grew up where it is. All this technology and we don't have no fun. Why she doing that? Why he doing that? You worried about the wrong damn thing. Why you ain't doing something?
Yeah.
Help me raise my vibration mode. Why you acting like the way that you acted?
And one of my biggest pet peeves kind of that I see online sometimes is that there's like the one thing that I see that is good, that there's a lot of people out here that are doing some really, great and powerful things, for, themselves, for the community, and just, a lot of good, positive, uplifting stories. But then you look at some of the comments and then you see people like, who, and it's like a lot of times when people do that, it's kind of more like people be, I don't know, like kind of trying to like insult somebody because they don't know this or that. But like me, when I see somebody doing something amazing that I never heard of, instead of me like trying to say something negative, I actually look into them like, wow, okay, let me find out more about this person, because it's like I don't know what it is like about people sometimes, but it's like a lot of times where there's like a lot of good positive things going on, then it's like somebody else kind of try to take it in a different direction. And so I learned that, like, I'll just try to encourage people to, like, when you see things like that, don't even feed into that. Like, it's kind of sad, like, because first of all, in this world, there are a lot of people in this world who influence this world, and I'm not even gonna say for the better, but for the worse, who you will never see. There's a lot of people in this world who are not even seen, and they have powerful influence over a lot of people's lives. And so I think it doesn't really matter about seen or unseen. What matters is that your heart is pure, and that, you're just trying to do something for the better of humanity, and service people and help people, and do it with true and genuine intentions. Because again, there's a lot of people in this world who, there's some diabolical people in this world, a lot of people of power and influence that you will never see. So, like, who a person is and all that, like, I'm just like, when you see somebody doing something like amazing or great, why do we have to even say something like negative about anybody, especially somebody that you don't know?
Because we are unhealed and we have not allowed ourselves to unzip. We are just got to say this like this is. We have areas of ourselves that deal with jealousy, and instead of being honesty, we be complacency, we be narcissist, we be we're sitting over here saying all of these things, but we're not honest, right? Your state has a comparison spirit with it, and because we don't want to be honest, or you don't know. Some people don't know why they're like that, but that's what generational curse breaking look like. That's what breaking up the ground look like, which is breaking up the soul of you, which is the heart and the soul of you. Your heart has to be clean. You can't even get to the soul of you and sit down with your spirit, body, and soul having a unison.
Yeah.
This is flowetry. This is flowetry. Do your arms. Hold on, before you go. Do your arms. Do your arms. Do your arms. Flowetry, like the wave. Flowetry. Flowetry. When we do that right there and allow ourselves to get in that space of, but your intent is spirit, mind, soul alignment, right? So if my intent is spirit, body, soul alignment, well, let me shake something loose. Shake yourself loose.
Cause I was looking at a young man who invented something, and I'm very proud of that young man. And then I look in the comments, right, and then I see like a few negative comments, but I'm like, I just don't understand, why do people feel like you gotta, like, to me it's pointless. And I think, like, with it being 2026, we ought to grow up now. Like, when you see other people doing something phenomenal, why we just can't celebrate one another? Like, yeah, we don't have to tear each other down. Like, it's weird, It's kind of
weird. Come on. Okay, I ain't gonna change my
and again, and I'm just saying all that because we got to stop thinking that we're gonna know. You're not gonna know everybody in this world, because again, there are good people, there are wicked people, there are honest people. There's dishonest people. You got all kind of people in this world, but you're not gonna know everybody, But to me, the whole point is that if you do see somebody that is trying to do something good, we ain't got to say nothing like negative about nobody, like, especially somebody you really don't know. But you're not gonna know everybody.
So what's wrong if we're gonna be on this living intentionally? What does that really look like? Does that look like peace and love? What does that intentional look like, right? Because I can turn around and grab the other notebook that deals with the power of intentionality. And intent means to cause something, to grow, to feel, to hear. We're not going to deal with nothing negative. I'm going to deal with just you. To grow, to feel, to hear, to understand, to go beyond what you have ever dealt with or felt or experienced in any of the now. That means that I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be very compassionate in this time frame on this journey. And I'm going to do that for myself first. See, this is self first.
Yeah.
They didn't teach that. They didn't want you to have that. And that's real. They do not want you to be about self, because the more that I be about self, I do the first thing up here that deals with mind power. Magneto, thank you, magnificent, magnetic force. The name just clicked so I can see Magneto. Wasn't Magneto the one that dealt with the mind, that actually knew, felt, hear, all right here, right?
He can control metal with his mind. Yeah. Yeah, but
Control, wait a minute, control with your mind. Control with your mind. Just let that sit in. How many times have you sat within yourself and said, I'm not about to open my mouth up. No, I ain't about to do that. Fuck that. I ain't about to get no energy that you ain't getting a word from me. And sat there and your mind took control over everything and you saw it play out without you saying something.
Yeah.
What if we, right, but we don't practice it enough. We do things like that. Magneto was actually a feminine principle. Magnetic force says Magneto was actually a feminine principle. So you're going to have to be soft for this to work. Oh, hold up. I can tell you exactly what you're going to have to be, because my notebook is here and I always stay ready. The mind space is the feminine domain. Okay. See why I said mind power? Because if I'm in mind power, the intent moves, right? So we got divine feminine, receptive, grounded, empower, trust self, nurturing, prioritizes self-care, open, strong heart, emotionally resilient, intuitive, reflective, supported by life. So we're going to have to get in the feminine, the divine feminine, you guys. We're going to have to. See, because I'm like, real power, and this is just notes that I was taking for self, because real power is what he said first. He was like, you're going to have to get calm with yourself. So I'm going to have to get calm. Yes, all those other feminine principles. Yes, yes, yes. That was the whole thing, was like when you said it, because I thought about Magneto and I flow. So Magneto wasn't a person that I thought about today. So because of, this is what it looks like to actually flow and be in tune, right? Because you'll think of, bing, light switch went off. Why am I thinking that? Oh, and then you get, humor, you're just like, being in tune allows you to also be with the correct people. I like to say correct people that does this right here. Let me stand back a little bit. Does this right here. This look like I'm either receiving or I'm supporting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if I raise my hands up, now I'm uplifting. That's what our voices should be doing.
Yeah.
But what you said, I'm over here knocking somebody down. Ew, why you looking like that? I've been like that before. I ain't even gonna lie. I've been there. Girl, no. And then me sitting over here like, why you got me here? You know I want to be here. Girl, I can't wait to get home. This motherfucker pissed me off. Literally, I be sitting there hot within myself instead of being honest that I don't want to be right there.
Yeah.
Now I'm all in my feeling. Then I'm going to get on the phone later on, call my other girlfriend up. You know what this motherfucker had me doing? You know what she had? Let me tell you what she had on too, girl. How she was acting, backbiting, stabbing somebody in the back instead of being honest.
Yeah.
Brothers do it too. Because you said uplift, and that just went there with me, because you know how much of my work that I had to really do. Wait, I was living my own intentionality. Like, y'all had me, and I was being petty with it too. I didn't care. So, no, I ain't doing shit. Remember when you had me, you? Nope, I ain't doing that today. Laugh at yourself. I need everybody.
I call that the view session, when people get together and talk about people.
He said the view session. What does that look like for you as a brother, though? When you have that moment of realizing that brother I thought was really cool with me. I thought he was, in this space over here with me. I thought you was my brother, right? And you realize that it probably was a no harm thing, but you don't know that the brother is working on healing. You don't know that the brother got some entanglements that's so tied up within that person that they don't even know how to do anything, but just do what they've been doing. Do you give the brother opportunity, or you just say, I'm gonna dump you out?
You know what, to be honest with you, like most of the people that I surround myself with are more kind of like-minded. I'm not gonna say that we always agree about everything, because I don't think nobody agree, but for the most part, we all are like, at a point where like we try to be more open and honest. Like, cause like one thing about me and a lot of my friends, if any of us ever do anything that we didn't like, we gonna pretty much be real and upfront with each other. Like, man, no, man, I ain't like when you did that or said that, or I didn't. And respectfully, we handle it like that. I tend to more so surround myself with people like that. Especially like me, because I'm a type of person where like I don't let things fester. Like if I feel a certain way about something, I know a lot of people tell me, well, you too blunt. But I mean, look, I can be gone from this world tomorrow. Who know? No, none of us know how much time on this side we have. And so I think that, like, why let things fester? Like, sometimes things have to be addressed. It doesn't have to be in a hostile way, but I like surrounding myself with people like that who kind of nip things in the bud right away and don't let it fester, but can do it maturely,
that maturity word is the thing, right? Maturity, do it with maturity, like maturity.
Yeah, no, it got to be mature because sometimes sometimes there are some people who will address things right away, but maybe they might need a little more space to calm down. So I get it. Like,
what is it? What do you mean?
Well,
why you put me over? I am a person that need a little bit more time. I need a little more space. I need you not to say nothing to me when I am there. I need you to, as I've been telling somebody. Stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. Leave me alone. Because of that. But see, if we don't learn how to laugh at that and get to that place of that's how I am, how am I going to get to a balance?
Yeah.
How can I get to a balance if I'm not honest about that? Well, why would you say those things? I'm honest about how I am right now. That is how I am. I might not like it. I might need to grow, which I do. Ain't no might. I know I need to grow from it. But who are you to sit up there and want to sit up there and tell me how to handle my anger? You ain't inside of me. You don't know what to feel like.
And see, that's why I said, like, I give grace there to myself and other people, because all of us, again, we may be similar in some ways, but we all handle things a little bit different. I guess to where I may be a little more bold, but kind of like I don't approach people like aggressively. I may like, say, hey, can we just chat for a little second and do it? But again, everybody's not the same,
Right. Wait is the calm of the power. I'm honest with it. I am a work in progress when you done something to me. When you said something I don't like, I'm getting there. And I am, because I know that I've allowed a lot of things in my life. Let's get back to that real reality of something.
Yeah. And
you are the architect of the reality. So if I'm the architect of the reality, then the reality of it is that this has happened. They said something. And am I going to be intentional? Meaning, am I going to allow things to flow in frequency, or will I be the friction? Or will I be the friction? Yeah. Friction does separation. I'm knowing that I'm not on separation right now. So let's grow. Let's grow. Let's learn. Let's do different. Key, to do different. Take that patience. Give it to yourself. If you got to do, hey, give me. Do the church finger. Some people understand the church finger better than you saying, stop talking to me, leave me alone, give me a minute. Sometimes you got to do yourself like that. Sometimes you have to, I'll be right back with you. Sometimes you might need to stop doing everything and go sit down with yourself. Go see where your temperature is. The thermostat is on 0 right now. If it get cold, I have access because this is my apartment to go and do the thermostat, turn it up to whatever temperature. You have access to self to turn you up or to turn you down. It's like really be intentional about your character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our characters are fucked up. You was either a kid that grew up in the 80s or was born in the 80s. But I promise you, after the 80s and the 90s left, we all here. So we all got the same sauce dish to us.
Yeah.
So it's like why we can't, like you said, why we can't come together. And a lot of times in the women's community, it's like that because I can say I'm a victim and a person too. That then went and did some things. I done said some things, looked at you funny, said something behind your back or to your face or around the corner. I've said something, but I'm honest about that. And knowing that that was wrong, I was in a space of uncertainty, pettiness, anger, no joyousness in the joy of the Lord. No joyousness. And now that I'm over here, stop laughing at me. I had to get there. Wait, look, I had to put something on the paper and I had to do what Dr. Joe said, which is think of that, what you're thinking about, right? Your store, your business, like you. So if I'm thinking about, I'm going to have me a story, he going to film it. I'm just going to sit there and be the writer like I am. And he going to direct, right? The excitement, that excitement is that joy. I'm intentional about that. I'm intentional about, that feeling. Let me.
Joy is
y'all out real
thing.
quick. Yeah. I know how to tune everybody out.
But you know what? But that's good though. Like all of us have to self-reflect because we have to remember at a certain point in time in our life, we all maybe did things and thought so. Like, we're not. I always say we're not perfect, but we're being perfected. And so, to me, it's like we grow up and we learn. Everybody don't learn at the same pace, but I think if we want to see our people grow and our communities do better, we got to change our mindset about how we treat one another, how we treat ourselves as well, because again, to me, my motto is everybody is somebody, don't matter what people have or don't have, everybody is somebody.
Mm-hmm. Everybody is somebody. If you got to say it, everybody is somebody. And I think for me, it's the fact that if you become an adult, it's like you got to go backwards, right? Where we had the not comparing self to others. Well, did we as a teenager really, did you compare yourself? Right. It's not the adult that like, oh, I didn't do that and I don't do that. But see, you could subconsciously do that and not know it because I just say myself, like I had to do a whole bunch of work, self-reflecting, self-digging, self-discipline to get to this space right here of saying, okay, I'm ready to do the show.
Yeah. And that's
not
okay.
Because somebody asked, when you coming back? And I'm like, I couldn't give an answer because it wasn't time. But now that we're here, I just worked on a couple of days ago, last week, around the same time I asked you. And then here you is with this, not comparing yourself to others. I had to go do some digging work to see where I was comparing myself. Welcome in, you guys who are here. My guest today is Mr. Wade Simmons. He's a filmmaker, mortician, and in my world, pro wrestler. He's also a poet. He's going to do a poetry. Also, we're going to both do our poetry. Shout out to our Black history ancestors out here that has paved the way for us to be able to do what we do right now in the now, which is, hey, use our voices, our gifts, and our talents to create, inspire, and uplift others. All right, wait. I had to stop comparing. This is before today, couple days ago. This week right here, I literally worked on, I was comparing, and it hurt because I didn't know that I was, thank you for the gifts. I didn't know that comparison leads to other little doorways of like envy and jealousy and pride and arrogance and all the stuff that you were talking about before, right?
Yeah.
I say it because I said it like that because I had like half a roll of tissue. I crawled up in that bed and I made myself stay there until I know that I didn't feel any of that. Compare myself. Let's talk. Compare yourself, baby. Ain't nobody DNA but yours. Dana don't lie. You is Kiana. Can't nobody say it like you. Can't nobody get up there and give it like you. Ain't nobody like you. You the authentic DNA of Kiana. Comparing yourself. Have you lost your mind? Can't nobody walk that walk that you didn't walk. Girl, you done been from Oregon all the way down there, took, raised by somebody else that went through all type of stuff. S-aid, M-aid, over-aid, anything. All type of sensory abuse going on. But you know what? How I made it over my feelings, over what I didn't know was there. That man said, not comparing self to others. And I said, question mark, question mark, question mark. It opens doors to other spirits.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, why would you want to open something else up that you're not even attached to and then entertain the thought of, well, they got this. Well, they got a whole bunch of people following. I'm just using myself that I ain't spoke on, okay? Y'all don't know this. I do sit on the other side. Oh, trying not to do a tear. I do sit on the other side, and why I don't have all them? It ain't about the likes. Like, why I don't have all this audience like that? Or why nobody wants to be a guest? Or why you don't want to share your story? You know, I sit back with that. Oh, why my stomach ain't flat like hers? And girl, I'm gonna tell y'all, this is real. My arms got to be like this. I don't be thinking about my hair part.
Yeah.
But why? It was the why of why, Kiana, is you looking at somebody else?
Yeah.
Wait, what is your thoughts? Because I had to share me with that. Why are you looking at somebody else, Kiana, instead of looking at the greatest person of all?
You know what I started realizing? I started thinking about like the people that I used to look up to. And I used to like look at their life. And when I saw that, I'm like, you know what? It's nice and it's wonderful to see people doing great things, but I had to, realize in life that everybody have their own story. Because a lot of times we see people, we see people winning, but you don't understand what their losses were like. You don't understand what setbacks they had or things they had to overcome. And so, like, I feel like once I started kind of looking at life like that, it's like, everybody got their own story. And I think the one thing is just like, it's so important to not compare yourself because you don't know what that person been through to get to where they were. And, and to be honest with you, like once I started like, realizing that success and all this and life, even it's a journey. And a lot of times people look at, people reaching a certain destination, but a lot of times you'll realize that all of us are human beings with still problems, and no matter how much money you got or don't have, everybody still have problems. And I don't want nobody else's problems. So that's what I learned.
That will be taking on their problems too, right? Yeah.
And so it's like to me, and I'm pretty sure they don't want mine. So once I started looking at life from that lens, I was all right.
Now that you say it like that, hey, comparison is where now you're a singular being, and I was, when I was writing it out, I was looking at it like that, like not comparing self to others. How can you possibly compare yourself? Which is now, it's not even more of a comparison. For me, after really doing the work, I was looking at what I don't have, which is outside of me. And the moment that I stopped, because that's what I was doing in the work and looking at, your strength that you have, your faith, courage that you have, your authentication that you'll have. I got this attitude that I have. Every of myself was because of my authentic being. Authentic being. Nobody can do what you do. Somebody else can do it, but you know what? It ain't you though. It ain't you. The way that you encourage somebody else, the way that you sit up here and you're going to speak from the soul core of you. Why are you comparing yourself? You gave you a whole show. Didn't nobody give me this? You, myself. When yourself gives you something, say yes to you. I gave myself that. You didn't give me that. I gave myself that. I'm going to say that again. You didn't give me say yes to you. So anything that you know you're looking at right now, which is inside of you, you gave it to self. You gave yourself a gift. Welcome in. You gave yourself a gift. What gift have you not unwrapped of yourself that you need to intentionally, purposely unwrap today? You got something inside of you ain't nobody else got, baby. Something inside of you nobody else had.
As you speak, you kind of take me back to my time in high school where I remember my teacher, Miss Julian. She had us write poetry. This is like really when I really started embracing writing poetry.
Oh, he writes poetry too. I forgot about that.
She had us all write a poem, and so I remember there was a young man named Anthony West. I'll never forget it. He wrote a poem about being on the bus. And he stood in front of class and my poem, he said his poem was corny, but when he read it, I feel like his poem was like one of the best ones that to me, like, I'm not gonna say I try to get away from saying the best because that's really subjective too, because everybody is the best at being them. But to me, I kind of can say that I related to his poem a little more than some of the other ones. But everybody is the best at being them. But and I think in his mind, he was comparing his poems compared to the other people's. But to me, his poem was really good. And I liked it because it was just very relatable how he was like, it was basically dealing with like just how being on the bus ride, you can just sit back and reflect on life and stuff. And so me being a person that, when I was living in the city more, took public transportation in the suburbs and in the city. So, and a lot of times when I would be on the bus and train, I would do a lot of reflecting and thinking. So, like his poem resonated with me. So, I think that like from that day forward too is like you don't really want to compare yourself. Like your gifts are your gifts, your talents are your talents, and so people gonna be the best at being them, but everybody is somebody. Everybody has a talent. Everybody has a skill. So, there's no.
You better say that. Everybody has.
There's no need to really be jealous or envious of anybody because everybody has their own life to live. Everybody got their own date of entry into this world. Everybody got their own date to transition out of this world. So you don't have to hate on anybody. Like, and like once more people realize that, I think we would see, I ain't gonna say so much of a change because it's always gonna be people who are on the opposite side, unfortunately. But to me, if you get more people to like know who they are and to love themselves and to love other people and to encourage one another and uplift one another, we would see somewhat of a difference, The-
That's what, well, I guess the collective question of people have been like, well, what do we need to do? Uplift, just uplift. Uplift, encourage. The same way that you want somebody to probably come pat you on the back. One, have you done it to yourself first? If you've done it to yourself, it'll be an automatic to the next person, right? Also, with the comparison, I just wanted to add with that, because I did, like you say, if you're not comparing, the automatic effect is resonance. Just like when you were saying the bus, it automatically took me to me because I get on the bus and the train and the max and everything. So listening to the little bit that you're giving, I most definitely can say applaud, even though I haven't heard the poem, all because of the factor that on the bus is the part that I'm talking about with this journey. Enjoying that part of the journey allows you to be on the bus. I even got a picture of me, a couple pictures I need to go look at. I'm gonna share where I was on the bus and I took them and I was looking up, right? And I'm looking at the sky. You will miss things because we won't enjoy the journey because we too busy. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? No, Ice Cube Juniors, we ain't there yet. Sit down.
No, look, I used to have a wonderful time, like, sometimes riding the bus and the train. I know things have, you know, kind of gotten a little out of hand. I mean, things been that way, but for the most part, it's like, to me, it's like when I used to be on the bus and the train, I just would sit there and reflect. I would always be watchful, but I think for the most part, I got like a lot of like positive thoughts, a lot of good thoughts, and a lot of like pursuing what I wanted to do. So to me, just being able to like sit there and reflect is always, and then too, you get a chance to look around, you see other people, you wonder what their story is, stuff like that. So like being an artist, I think like those moments sometimes are the best moments because it helps you to process life and create different stories and stuff and see everybody as a character.
Woo! Thank you, God. Thank you, daughter-in-law. Thank you, daughter-in-law. Woo! You can't compare yourself. Never. Never. If we went and did like Tyler Perry had on one of the plays. It's in the play. I didn't forgot which one it was, but it's the one. It might be the one where it's the funeral or the family reunion. Either which way, she went and did DNA thing for this for one of the family members, and then came back and was like, "You the daddy? Yeah, you in? Dana don't lie. You are you." I had to receive that myself this week right here. That's why I said it was no shocker. It's alignment, dealing with not comparing yourself. Why we can't align with each other?
Yeah.
Alignment looks like I need to get in a line so that my mind, because when you break down the words and the letters in it, I need to get in a line that's going to power up my mind. What and who is powering you up? Because what and who is powering you up is the reason that you stay complacent and stay stuck. Why are we stuck?
And you know what? When I was training in
you ain't seen it.
like when I was training in pro wrestling, this was one of my pet peeves. Like when people would be like, "Well, I think this person is the next this person and the next that," but it's like, no, you don't need any more. You don't need any more people trying to be what's already be seen before. You need more people being original and utilizing their gifts and their talents. Because like, look, you don't want to keep seeing what you've seen already. Like, I think that more people should just embrace the gifts and talents that God gave them and don't be afraid to be unique and be original. I don't want to keep saying the same stuff I already seen before.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's just like I was like, do I make it some questions? And then self was like, this is what it looks like for me when I am in tune with myself. Welcome in everybody that's here on the TikTok. And my guest today is Mr. Wade Simmons when he gets his TikTok. Mr. Wayne Simmons doesn't have a TikTok. That's why you don't see him on this side. So this is what it looks like, you guys, in our world. Some people have and some people don't. But does that mean you don't do a show? Does that mean you don't work your gift? No. That means you improvise. Make it happen. Make you happen so it can happen through you and for you and because of you. Damn poor right there. Wait, you spoke on something about the guy's poem, and I can say this: if you are a writer, if you feel it's in you, rapping, okay, freestyling, flowing, rapping, spoken word,
Yeah.
and poetry. Hold up. We also have people who just speak. Those are speakers, and they have like messages or something that drop them gems, them philosophers, grandma, them philosophers, people like, yeah. But they actually, we're so magnetic to them or attracted is because that's you. That's you, that's me, that's us. Allow yourself to sink into who you are. Right? It's like, wait a minute, what? Look, quit saying you don't have time. The moment you put, oh, I don't know, I don't have time. How I gotta do such and such, such and such, such and such. This is a shout out to all my multitaskers. Make it happen. Make it happen. You make it happen if you want to go see somebody. You make it happen if you want to go hang out with somebody. You make it happen if you want to get your nails, your feet, your hair done. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Make it happen for self this year. Make it happen. When you make it happen for yourself, watch what happens. Make it happen. Not make an excuse. I'm sorry. Make it happen. It's a little warm here with no arrow. That's just myself. But make it happen. Seriously. One thing happened over the phone call with Wade saying, I'm coming, Key, I'm going to be there bright and bright for you. And it's Black History Month. I got you too, Key. Then he says, I write poetry. Huh? Do what? Okay. Well, our show has now went from Wade being a filmmaker, mortician, wrestler, to Mr. Poet. Use your gift. Open your gift. I'm so serious. Open your gift because it will open another box and it will open another box. And if you don't believe me, where's my keys? I got 2 keys on here. A regular key and a mailbox key. We're going to do with the mail. You going to go open your mail?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Mail don't run on Sunday. So you better catch this mail today. It's 10 o'clock, my time. So 10, 11, 12, 1. 1 o'clock over there on the East Coast. That means it's 12 o'clock over there in the Central. Is you going to open your mail? This is real talk. Is you ready to unlock self because you the mailbox and open it? Oh, and when you open the mailbox, this is where I want you to get a little playful. Get a little playful with it. Act like anything that you want for self that does not actually deal with anything materialistic, right? If you need courage, it's in the mailbox. If you need strength, it's in the mailbox. Whoo! If you need to control those and cut those emotional cords that have had you so tied to somebody else, people, places, and things, it's in the mailbox. If you need to see how to make a profit, it's in the mailbox. Anything that you need is in the mailbox of self.
Yeah. I'm looking at. I'm looking at a poem that I wrote back in 2022. I want to share it with you if that's okay.
Okay, so you go. Yours is what, 2022. That's when I came back to Oregon, and then mine is this last year. I'm like, I didn't write this year. I had to think. I wrote it last year. I just happened to fixed it. Revised it, added, took it away. So
I
right.
wrote one for Black History too, but I got one from 2022 that I think kind of resonate with what we're talking about today. But it's called Timing Isn't Everything, but It's a Factor. And it says, we often hear people say time is everything, but I feel timing isn't everything because we do not seem to understand time is not subject to man, and neither is it a friend. We spend years building what we can lose in the blink of an eye. And to me, this is the reason why I don't live by cliche sayings or what people tell me I should think. If some people are straight with hearing these, to me, I think it stinks because I saw my friend married 3 weeks later, he was gone. I saw a friend and his girl have a baby, and then I wished I never picked up the phone. And saw the news that I had received that timing isn't everything because we don't know when our time we will leave. The one thing I can say is we have to cherish what God has given us in the present. She told me one day we would be together, but one day never came because as time moved on, life certainly arranged. The truth about everything that I'm saying is that time is a factor, and what will or won't be. This is just common sense that I'm grateful God let me see. Time will not wait, and neither will I. To live, I will make the most of every opportunity God gives. To love, to laugh, to be rejected, and maybe sometime disappointed. Because at least I'll be able to say I went for everything that I wanted.
Yeah. Hold on, you gotta do your fingers right. Hold on, I got the two. Hold on, I got the two. I got that too. You know I do. You know I do. Ready? Yeah,
that's one I have.
Time does not wait for
2022.
anybody. Do the now. I love. You said that was 2022, right?
Uh-huh.
Do the now. Time, and you know what? It does go back to our shout out to our Black History Month musical artists and geniuses out there. You know, okay, I always have to shout out Prince and Jimi Hendrix and Michael Jackson. 1, 2, 3.
I'll share the one. I'll share the one I wrote for. I'll share the one I wrote for Black History too, if you want me to. If you want me to.
Yes. Before, you want me to read mine?
I want you to read yours now.
All right, so mine is called We Are the Voices, and mine was not wrote for this month. I am spiritually led, so I just flow. So welcome in, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm your host, Kiana Turner of Speak to My Heart show. Today is Mr. Wade Simmons Day. Hey, and we're back for the 2026 year. Also with that, he is a mortician, filmmaker, wrestler, and just became an artist overnight. No, he's been holding that one. So we're sharing our poems, and he wrote one for Black History Month. I'm just going to read mine that was wrote like a couple months ago, and it's called We Are the Voices. We are the voices, the bass line under pavement, the heartbeat in the Bronx that became a blueprint for every block still dreaming. We are the echoes of ancestors who hummed freedom into the wind, who carved tomorrow with cracked hands and still left room for us to shine, to build, to evolve. We are graffiti on brick walls, spray can truth in colors louder than oppression, art that refuses to whisper when the world tries to mute our voices. We are break beats and break dance, body language that rewrites physics, melanin moving in rhythms the universe never forgets. We are bars spit from the gut, words forged from struggle, verses sharpened by hope, hooks strong enough to pull whole generations forward. We are the ones who turn pain into poverty, trauma into testimony, street corners into stages, where gods learn they can fly. We are culture makers, trendsetters, truth tellers, the post that keeps the planet in sync. And when the world asks who speaks for the future, we step forward without flinching because we've always been the narrators of our own becoming. We are the voices, unfiltered, unfolding, unbreakable, still rising, still shining, and the mic is ours. Thank you.
I love it.
I do it myself. I do it myself. I don't be hitting them buttons.
You gotta give a little.
Yeah! Okay. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Hello, lovely. Thank you for all for being here. My guest today is Mr. Wade Simmons. Our topic and discussion is about mind power, living intentionally, and not comparing self to nobody. And he just established that one, when you're comparing yourself, you're taking other people's identities on. And two, when you're comparing yourself, you are blocking the resonance that needs to happen within yourself. So thank you all for being here. Now, Wade, it is his time to read this particular poem that he actually wrote for Black History Month. Take it away.
All right. So this is my poem for Black History Month. I want you to like look at it from an artist perspective because as a proud Black man, first of all, we are all like talented people. And I know that like our history was kind of stolen from us, but look, we got to stand up for our ancestors and our families. But it says, I'm proud that the creator made me a melanin man in a world that treated my ancestors as a foe rather than a friend. We have contributed many things to society in a world where wicked people try to silence us with bribery, but I choose peace and awareness. So regardless of the history they try to erase, we will not accept defeat. And that's my poem.
Simple, short. Hold on. I'm gonna leave it up here so I can. Hold on. If you don't stand for anything, it ain't about falling. You falling for the nonsense that's already within you. You're falling for something that is not even of you.
Look,
You know what I'm saying?
I tell people one of my favorite artists, and she's always gonna be on my list of all time greats is Lauryn Hill because I like the stories that sister told in her music, and I love her awareness, and I think she's a constant reminder that you can be successful and still stand for what is true, and even if you don't really get to the level some other people get to, that really don't matter, you just do what you're supposed to do. So I'm always give my sister Lauryn Hill her flowers, Matter of fact, I'm listening to her when I get out here today too.
Lauryn Hill. You going where? He's like, I'm gonna go listen to her now. Okay, you're going where? All right. I'm gonna go listen to Lauryn Hill. Okay. I can honestly say Lauryn Hill does amazing artists, right? Amazing. Because she'll bring a song to you and it would change your whole mindset about anything, right? And if we don't learn how to do that our own self, it's like you're going to continue to be in this constant little... Sorry.
If you want to surprise everyone in 2030,
constantly be, I'm trying to get to her for you. You're going to constantly be in this little race that deals with, comparing when you're not. Yes. Okay, she said Galactic is like, okay, we got the bells awaken the sleeping giant in all of us. Yes, that's why I love bells, okay? 2, bells also unlock your DEA. 9, why you do me like that this morning? Where'd he go? If I'm gonna pin that because I need you to explain, because you know when we say DEA instead of DNA, I need a little bit of explanation. So we're gonna shout out to Lauryn Hill, one of the greatest soloist artists on the planet, because if you can sing "His Eye is on a Sparrow" in the voice that she sings in her voice, you know why? Because it's like this. Even matter. We got to get to that space right there where nothing matters. And understanding you, not YOU, you matter. Don't make yourself plural when you're singular. You're multidimensional and all this other stuff. But you is the universe of you. It is the say yes to you. One little swoop. You. You know why? Because look at this. Shoot. It goes back up. You can start on this side or this side. It's going to do this. It's going to come down as above, so below, and go back up. You. Like you said, you're here. You're here now. You exist in the now. Not last week, not yesterday, like last night, like 5 something this morning when I was up. In the right now, you matter. What you do in the now, I got homework then. He said deoxyribonucleic acid. Okay, that does something to me because of the fact that it goes still with comparison. Your cosmic of you cannot be compared. How you going to compare that superstar? Because now you're comparing the superstar to the celebrity. We can use that. Wait, I'm a superstar. You know it's Saturday. You know you a superstar, right? So if I take myself and I'm over here looking at, let me see. Can't use Cardi because I do like her. How do you all right, we're gonna use Beyonce. I don't never be feeling her. Okay, not shout out to nobody, not shoot nobody down. It's just when you compare yourself to this person, right? First of all, she's from Houston, Texas. Let's just go there. How many of us have went to and lived in Houston? I haven't been there. But when you start, thank you. He said, this is a chemical makeup.
That's a
right. So how you gonna go make yourself up and make yourself over?
Yeah.
How you gonna go do that? How you gonna go and I'm gonna take the pen and I'm gonna take my bell thing, right? And I'm gonna try to put them and make them something. Because I don't want to be the pen anymore, or I like being the pen, but I like that rubber piece that's on here. Well, I don't have one. Comparing, asking questions outside of yourself leads to you not hearing yourself. Not hearing self. Respect yourself and listen to what's right here. This me eating that up too, because I stand on that one. Respect yourself and listen right here. Right here saying, pick up the pen, write the story. Self right here is saying, pick that instrument up that you know how to play and you not. You want to feel good? Do what's right here. Do what's right here. If you weren't in the space that you are in, doing all of your great, beautiful things that you have mastered and still mastering, how would self actually feel about, how would you feel about you right now?
Oh, I'd probably be really getting on myself. Cause to me, it's like, it's no use of sitting around like wishing and hoping and all that. Like, you know, we have to take control of our life and do what we can, you know. And I think that's the whole thing about life, right? We have to focus on our own journey because that's so important. And instead of like, you know, sitting around just like we can support one another. I think that's a beautiful thing, but it's like instead of us like focusing on like all the negative things and the crazy things in this world, do we know how much like stuff we can actually get done if we focus on the right things, you know? So I tend to just give my energy to things that push me forward, you know, and help me to be in a better space where I can not only help myself, but, you know, be a help to other people as well. So if it can't help me do that, then I ain't gonna waste my time with it, you know?
You know why we don't have time to waste? Because you're just wasting you. It's not even about time. You are wasting away.
Yeah.
You are wasting away. Like, okay. Since Mr. Nine Ether broke this down, which is bells, heal, and unlock your junk. Junk out the ghost DNA, aka deoxyetheric acid, which is our chemical makeup. And Abigail says the intersection of physical body chemistry with consciousness often viewed as sacred vessel. So that goes back to living intentionally on purpose, mind power. The power is within, right? Like the power is within. So if I know that I'm not unwrapping, unfolding, going in, and I'm not allowing myself to grow because I won't get rid of how I think of myself, because I want to be like, oh, why I can't be the remote and have buttons on me? Why I can't do it easily? What? I have to say it how it is. Why? Why you ain't sat down with your ass? I have a chair, but I'll be a little lower, right?
Yeah.
So if I sit down with myself and unwrap and do the work, allow myself to stand on integrity and truth of where I am and stop procrastinating, let me show you what happens. My daughter-in-law said, show it. Okay. She messaged me and she said, show it, Mama. So this is what happens. Oh, hold on. For you guys on that side, might have to change something. But for yourself, when you sit down really with yourself, what happens is a little thing called growth. What happens is you're able to craft. Filmmaking isn't something that I can see myself just, oh, I'm gonna walk into this and I know how to film make, right? It's levels to that, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So with those particular levels, what does that look like for you when you have to, like you say, the behind the scenes that they think everything is easy for us? This ain't easy.
But it go back to a word you just said, intention. Because that's the one thing that they kind of preach to us in film schools, that everything is intentional. Like, for instance, when somebody make a movie, anything that really doesn't push the story forward, you cut it out. And that's kind of how life is, right? Like anything that don't really push you forward, you got to cut it out, you know? So it's to me, it's kind of one and the same, you know?
Right. So I'm gonna show it as best I can. I'm gonna mess up. I'm gonna see. Don't. So they get a good eyesight. It is on my profile, is the diamond art, which I create. I'm trying to put this screen back like I had it, where it's no. Okay, I've been showing on this side. So this is what I did. The diamond art I've been doing kind of like over the summer. I really intentionally December got into it, and now this is where I'm at, right? So this is for sale. Yeah, it's for sale, you guys. But that's where I'm at with something. That's where I'm at with something. So with that, it allows yourself to say, if I sit down with me, that's what it's going to look like. If I sit down with me, my hands can start working. My mouth, if you're a speaker, can start working. If you know how to sew and use anything in your life, work your gift.
Yeah.
Work your. I was just gifted some donuts that I really can't eat, but oh my God. It's a gift. That's why I said, hold on a second. And okay, so we have some comment. This is what you got to get a TikTok. Wade's gonna get a TikTok for us so we can, when you get hot and bothered or horned, you can use that energy to create. Yes. So I like that. We're gonna go down the comments. He says, when you get hot and bothered or horns, you can use that energy to create. So instead of comparing, we're going to do what? We're going to do what Nine just said. Is take that energy, because you hot, you bothered. Go sit your ass down with yourself. Be quiet, be still, and be honest, and create.
I like that. That's powerful wisdom right there. I like that.
Yeah, Nine. Come on down, that right there. Yeah, you helping Super Saturday for real. How can I be my own superhero? Better yet, it is a Superstar Saturday, but we're changing it, and I'm going to still get in the flow of saying Superhero Saturday. I am my own hero, and I am super on purpose. That's I am, because I know I am, because I am. Period. See how when you speak, one more time, speak into your existence of who you are, it removes the actuality of you being, oh, I gotta say something myself. Yes. Yourself need to hear yourself say something to yourself because you've been saying nonsense all these years. It's that simple. Abigail is like, I'm becoming a phlebotomy technician because I found me in myself. Come on now.
Congratulations.
I found me in myself. What she told me last night about it, and I was just like, you gonna be dealing with blood or what?
That's all right. Look.
She said no. She told me no. She is, but she's like, no, I want to be able to educate people on the inside of us, the science of that, so that they can see who they really are scientifically. I was like, you go ahead, baby, because I'm a whole cosmic galactic being. I don't know what you're talking about, but hey. But
congratulations, my sister. Look, I like
right.
Like
when you found you in you. Okay, so we have 9 is requesting to come up. So he's going, when he does get there. Come on, let the person in. Welcome in, 9 Ether. How you feeling today?
Love and greatness, infinite always rising. We shall always primordially rise. What's going on? How you vibing?
Super ecstatic on all the instruments and frequencies going on out here. I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay. I am actually amazingly super on purpose. There's so many words I can use. I just like great balls of fire. Wade. Can you hear Wade?
I can hear him, but I can't see him.
Oh, we know because you don't have a TikTok. And this is what it looks like when it's the Speak to My Heart show. 9, you said something that is so. Let me go back. Let me go back up. You said when you get hot and bothered, or horns, because some people don't realize that you can feel these horns, right?
No. I said when you get hot and bothered or horny, instead of having sex, use that energy to create.
I'm glad you came up to explain that. Because I wasn't even gonna think that. I didn't even think that. I guess because I just go create anyways, which is still great.
Yeah, because we've been programmed to, like, when you get horny or when a man get hard, no homo and all that stuff, instead of us being programmed to try to have sex with somebody, all we need to do is transmute that energy and use it to create, write a book, build something, think of that master business idea, etc. you can utilize and transmute that energy instead of leaking it out into the physical, if that makes sense to everybody.
That makes perfect
You
sense.
don't always
I
have
got what
to
he's saying. Yeah.
use sexual energy to have sex, is what I'm saying. That's all.
That's facts. That's facts. Because now you're like, okay, which I call it. Okay, you gotta say it like I said. When you've been giving over your yummy just because that's what you're doing. What? I told you, welcome to the new improved Speak to My Heart show. It is called just that. Speak. Speak
Yeah,
it.
look.
You gotta say it
Look,
like when you giving over your yummy. And I'm getting the G out of that ass. Oh, girl, he didn't have me like this and like that. When you are giving over, you're giving over that energy that you could have used to go on there, like he said, write the book, wrote the poem, wrote a new song, worked on your instruments. You could have went for a walk. Hello, let me help you, ladies. Timu, get your little wrap. See the lady on there? She on there. Yeah, get the little wrap yourself up. Come on, let's get to you. Want to? Yeah, do that. Do your motion like that. Do your arm, whatever you need to do. Hold on. You want to move? You want to move your pelvic? Turn on some African sounds and all of that. You see what I'm saying? So take that and give to the creativity of yourself. She says you give a vulnerable part of yourself and you give your energy to someone else. Keep your energy. Reiki was here, says music does help the body. Facts. So we have all these tools to help our mind power, the power of your mind over what really does matter is you. And when I'm doing that, that allows
all music though.
Which instrument are you? We're gonna do that. Let's go play that. You know, I love when it deals with music while he's trying to pop in, pop out like I ain't catch him. What instrument are you?
Music. Music is good for the body, but not all music is good for the body. A lot of these musics that we listen to are used as mudras, especially when it comes to the hip hop part of things. When you find yourself instantly remembering verses and repeating the hook of the song all the time, that's a mudra, which means it's a spell that's being cast on you. That's why you're forced to remember that shit. Like you've been studying that song for a couple years to know it heart by heart like that, and you don't even look at the words and go to karaoke to learn it, and you just know it in your mind, and that's a mudra. That's a spell.
Oh, oh, mind power. When he said it first at the beginning of the show, he said mind power.
Think of any hip hop song that even until this day is still in your head.
Okay, I get so weak in the knees, I can hardly speak. I lose all control, and something takes over me. That's the only part of the song I know.
Yeah, like some songs are good songs, but I'm mainly talking about the low vibrational songs that we have in our head, and it's in our head on an everyday basis, regardless if we want it to be in our head or not. Like, you know, sometimes I'll be walking down the street and I'll have, you know, sometimes I'll have that little John song in my head. What? Okay. Yeah. Like, you know,
I got what he's saying, yeah.
You know, it was a mood, like, you know what I mean? or any song that you find yourself singing all the fuck time. It's being used in a wrong vibration to you as a spell, because it's making you remember and you're going on with the trend of the song, regardless if you dancing or committing an action that the verse is saying. Like, you know, you got some songs that make people unalive someone. You got songs that make people vape people.
That's what me and Wade were talking about, that drill music.
and this is for entertainment purposes only, even though I am telling the truth. But,
Thank you.
But still.
It is true though. And Wayne lives in Chicago. Drill music. You know the drill music. Oh,
I understand totally what he's saying.
Drill music is, and you know what? We have to be very mindful. So if you can take away the words,
drill music.
I tried to listen to something way after the day I was talking to you about getting on the show, and I just went to some Chi-Town real quick, and I was like, wow. I was really amazed at how the lyrics, because I don't really hear sometimes lyrics. I'll just hear the music. And if you pay attention to the lyrics, you are over here like, oh, I don't want to listen to this no more. Like, because yourself gets engulfed and you take a journey real quick in your mindset to probably where you was somewhere, or you just go there. I don't want to go there like that. I want a mind power. No, you ain't listening to that. Run away. Run far away.
Think about it, right? Think about it, right? Back in the 80s on down, music was real different, right? Now, I'm about to tell y'all something. You remember Ron DMC, and you remember you remember Aerosmith, right?
And Zap and all them.
I can't hear it.
Zap. They're like a part of Aerosmith. As far as like in music, Aerosmith, Run DMC, Zap, all them was together.
You remember that song with Ron DMC and he combined it with Aerosmith? Walk this way, talk this way. You remember that song?
Yeah, that was my song. I like that too.
All right. When they created that song was actually a ritual, changing rap or changing the music into hip hop, into what it is now. Because before that, people weren't singing or rapping about the stuff they're rapping and singing about now. Before that, people were only rapping about, like, the R&B was like, I got sunshine on a cloudy day, like love songs like that. Now, after that ritual video, music transforming, let me lick you up and down till you say stop. Transform into lustful shit. Because music wasn't really lustful back then. It was enchanting. It was talking about love and genuine love and well-being and stuff. But once that ritual song and Ron DMC combined it with Aerosmith, he invited the low vibrational entities to the quote-unquote heavens. And that's when music transformed into what it is now. Now we rapping about eating coochie and popping and making the women's toes throw up gang signs and shift your liver in a good way and all this shit. And
that's what we was talking about.
And we rapping about drugs and we rapping about selling drugs and unaliving our people and drilling and I don't give a fuck and fuck you and you know, and that's when all the music transformed into what it is now.
Right. So let's go to that. What was I at? To make sure it don't change. Yeah, because it went there. No, it actually went there. Because that's what I was saying when we first started, right? To be real. See, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
To be real in a place where they don't want you to be authentic. He answered the whole show with that one right there. To be real in a place that they don't want you to be real at. Are you willing to be authentic? Not sell out, not go do something different, not derive and I was distracted. You got that mind power. You was the distractor. Be the distractor. Do you be you? To be real. Before we leave, I'm gonna stay right here on the TikTok, but Mr. Wade Simmons, aka my brother way over there, shut down. Filmmaker, mortician, pro wrestler, and Mr. Poet. do you have another poem that you would like to give us? But before that, is there any words of advice for today that you would like to give our audience?
Yeah, well, one of them would be, as my brother touched on, is just, be mindful of what you put out into this world. We need more people uplifting our people. And, every artist is different, but, it's time that we start uplifting one another. And, again, we can't keep tearing each other down. We need to express more love to one another as people, and to do it genuinely, not on the front or not any ulterior motives, but like genuine love, So I just want to keep, spreading love and kindness to one another, to my brothers and sisters. And don't waste your time that God gave you. Use it wisely because it's a gift. So don't waste it.
Mm. He said that word time again. And wasting. Imagine if none of you actually seen movies like Lucy or watch cartoons or animated stuff when the person is disappearing, like their body starts becoming particles and it slowly is going away from them, magic stuff. That's you. That's you, but not disappearing, existing. You exist like that. They want you to think that you're disappearing like that. You are when you're not using your gift and your talent and standing in your truth and who you are. Period. I'm going to say that. You are disappearing. You're just a figment of somebody's imagination just here. Oh, and walking back. Oh, I didn't even know that was you. Because you're not vibrating higher. You over here listening, sex me, baby. Okay, that's a song just hit. See how the songs start that low vibration of stuff, and then we was in low vibration because we go do all these things and whatever, and we was thinking we was doing no, they just a whole bunch of low vibration on you to keep you from right here, and right here. Don't allow yourself anymore in the now of you. Push yourself out the way. Ain't tomorrow Super Bowl? Hello? You thought this was a game? No. It is superstar, superhero. Get your hand, stiff arm yourself. So y'all don't know football. Wait a minute, 9. If y'all don't know football, I need you to take your hand. Y'all use the palm of it. Okay? Get out the way. Move you out the way. When you move you out the way, they just fall off anyways. But you're going to have to move you out the way to get in this mind power, to become intentional and purposeful on this journey of looking, seeing, and becoming you at all times. Yes, 9.
No, I was just going to say that I know it's a big red pill to swallow. And I'm talking to mainly, the men and the guys out there or whatever. Listen, right? I know you got brought up playing sports. Your father or male figures in your life, taught you that we're supposed to play sports and all that. But the truth of the matter is, we're not really supposed to play sports. We're not supposed to engage in that type of entertainment. Because when you look at the science and the proven evidence behind this shit, all that shit is acted out. And you ever wonder why these football players is catching 1,000-yard passes, catching it with one fucking hand? You ever wonder why it was so easy for them to do that on every other play? They catching a long ass pass that might be impossible to catch, but they're catching it on their fingertips because they have magnets in their gloves, and there's magnets in the footballs. Or you ever wonder why some of these players don't miss a shot, or they never miss on the basketball court? Because either they are a robot, or they got magnets in the rims, or like everything is orchestrated. So, and then it's $1 billion business between the NFL and the NBA. So I stopped watching sports maybe 4 or 5 years ago, because it's like, hey, don't get me wrong, I'll still watch some high school stuff and maybe some college stuff. I'll watch that, but when it comes to the professional stuff, it's orchestrated to because you're still working for somebody else. Even though you're playing sports and you're a professional, you're working for another motherfucker, and you're not creating at that point. You know, you might be creating your own moves, but if they own you and they're paying you, they own your moves too. They own your special ability. They own all your slam dunks you ever did. They own all your Magic Johnson passes you ever made. They own they own your stats. They own everything about you when it comes to you playing sports. So I detached myself from that. And you could call it gay and people could think what they want to think, but I don't watch sports no more. Now I watch like the superhero stuff because that's us. But when it comes to sports, it's kind of like we're playing this game and we're like hamsters fighting each other in a fucking cage, and the oppressors or the people in high places is sitting there just watching us laughing, like watch them get beat the fuck up. And I bet you money that this motherfucker is gonna kill this motherfucker or unalive this dude, and it's entertainment to them.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
You know, Ether, and
everybody got to look at the big picture.
And it goes to when you go back in history and you go backwards, right? And that's why I say you got to do the work. You got to connect with people that actually, like you were saying, why shoot down the brother or the sister that's spitting gems that you don't know? But they're spitting something that is resonating with you, and you can lie to yourself. But let me tell you something. Even that thing I was listening to on another brother's platform, I done heard it so much for the last 4, 5, 6 years. Energy don't lie. Your mouth does. You're lying to yourself. Your thoughts lie. Your thoughts in your mouth is lying to yourself inside, and yourself is telling you that's real. No, it's not. Don't nobody hear you saying no, it's not but you. And yourself is sitting there like, why you gonna deny me? Why are you gonna deny me?
Words, if you watch that Super Bowl, if you go watch that Super Bowl, or even if you go to that Super Bowl, you're participating in that ritual. It's the 6th Super Bowl, right? And if Super Bowl number 6, I haven't watched a Super Bowl in almost 4 years, and I'm proud of myself. I went past, like, the only way I see the Super Bowl is probably after the next day, and then I see the stuff on TikTok and Facebook, and I see what went on and the halftime show and everything. But I don't watch it when it's scheduled. If they want everybody and their mama to go do something, especially if it's a movie, it's an agenda behind it.
Because
like the Black movie when it first came out. Everybody in the 90s, everybody and their mama went to the theaters to see that movie.
See which movie?
And then we didn't realize that we were being reset in that movie, because y'all remember that scene when he took that device and flashed it and then it wiped out people's memory? It did that to us in the fucking audience. It wasn't just in the fucking movie. It did that to us, and we got reset it.
Y'all better go flash yourself and sit down and be still. Go in yourself, and find you. What I said earlier, you better, no, seriously, I said before you got here, I was like, unfold you. You gonna have to unwrap yourself this time now. You gonna have to do the work. If you want to know who you are, you want to use those gifts that you know you have, you gonna have to do some work, because we all been flashed. Everybody watch Men in Black. If you haven't, okay, I understand. But we've all done something within ourselves. You guys, I know I cannot hold my friend up, even though he need to get him a TikTok. So we all gonna let Wade speak before he goes, because we've been here. He's been here 2 hours officially now, and I need him to get a TikTok. So we come on, get a TikTok, Wade. Get a TikTok, Wade. Get a TikTok, Wade. Okay. So before you go away, can you please let the people know how they can reach you? And this is streamed on YouTube, beside where Wade is at. So Speak to My Heart is on YouTube. All you got to do is Speak to My Heart, the number 2. Subscribe, share, follow. And if you know anybody that's out here wanting to share their story, have an amazing story and gift going on, or just wanting to share who they are, knowing that they out here trying to be better and better each and every day and becoming their self. Hey, give me a ring, reach out to me. I don't do all this over the top stuff. All you gotta do is just message me and we're gonna set you up and put you on stage. Wade, how you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling great. I'm just like I said, I just love connecting with people, and I just love people uniting together and people dropping gems. So it's always an honor and a privilege. And if you ever want to check me out, you can reach me on Instagram, Wade Jedi 99, or Facebook, Wade Simmons. If you want to check out some of my film work, I don't pressure nobody to. If you want to, you can check me out on Vimeo. It's Wade Filmmaker 777. So yeah, that's me. And if you want to just reach out, feel free to. I'm an open book.
Thank you so much. I want to say thank you for your presence, your gift, your time, things that, you know, can give you back. What I can give you back is the gratitude for allowing me to have a space for you to come and share your story. Let's have a great conversation, some harmony together, and drop these gems and knowledge and wisdom. It is always an honor and a pleasure to have you here. Until next time, you guys, this is the Speak to My Heart show. I am your host, Kiana Turner, and we'll be back next Sunday. Doses, peace, love, and harmony.